Hello and a huge welcome to this video. I'm Scorpion from How to Do, and in this video we will be learning how to make this kind of a movement system for our 2D character. Alright, just like that, so we can move left and right, and of course that one also with the arrow keys, and this one can move with WASD, and he can jump and use this kind of a jetpack, and of course we can shoot around and do stuff like that, like we can do that and hit each other and take other guns and do that. But in this video we will be learning how to make this movement system so we can jump around, I guess, and then we can move around like that. All right, so yeah, let's get started. Now first thing what I will do is I will make a new scene. So let me just come in here and don't save it. Okay, so let me just go ahead and delete these two. Okay, so I have a brand new scene over here. As you can see, there's nothing inside of it. Okay, cool. Now what you need to do is you need to go ahead and say right click and make sure you select this 2D thing so that we go right into the 2D mode. And now you can see if we press F, so this is the 2D mode and this is what we're gonna see in the game. Alright, okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say right click over here and create 2D object and create a sprite. Alright, and as you can see nothing actually happens, and I'm going to drag it out, so nothing actually happens and we cannot see anything. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this sprite to, I don't know, ground, something like that, so that we can land or something or not. Ground, there we go. And then what we have to do is we have to specify the ground using the sprite. All right, so I have loads of sprites in here, so if you may not have these much sprites because I have downloaded all of these, and yeah, but you don't need to have these kind of things. I just downloaded them for making the actual game, but you can use anything. Like I have this white sprite and it has nothing actually, so I'm gonna just click that and there we go, we have a kind of a square over here, and then we can of course specify its width and height and do much more than that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and drag in our game view in here so that we can actually see what's happening, and I'm gonna go ahead and see where our camera is. So there we go, and now I can go to 2D mode, and there we go. Now we have this kind of a sprite showing over here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it as a ground. So let me just go ahead and bring it down a bit and move it like that and bring it up. So now we have some kind of a ground over here. All right, let me just go ahead and make it bigger. So we have a ground on which our player can move. All right, but this skybox looks really weird in the 2D game, because in 2D game there's no kind of a skybox. So I'm gonna remove this skybox by going to the main camera, and instead of this skybox you can say solid color. All right, and then we can set the solid color to anything. Like I'm gonna set it to, I don't know, grayish thing, and then I can also change the ground to something like anything, okay, this will be good, and doesn't matter actually, but yeah, now it looks much better. And I set it to white, just like that. Okay, so now we have some kind of thing. Now we have to add a character. All right, so in my case I'm gonna just create a new sprite, 2D object sprite, and I'm gonna call it player. And in my case I'm gonna just use another box, like you saw in the preview. All right, I'm gonna just make a rectangular kind of a thing, and there we go. I'm gonna make it like same one. All right, there we go. Now this one will be our player. All right, I'm gonna make it yellowish, or reddish will be good, but yellow, but it doesn't matter what it looks like now. But yeah, there we go. Now it looks much better. Alright, so this will be our character, and we want to move him left and right and jump. But when we play the game now, nothing will actually happen. So first thing what we have to do is we have to make him fall. Alright, and how we will do that is by adding a physics component, and that will be the rigid body. So go to your sprite player and say add component and call rigid body. and there are two rigid bodies, rigid body and rigid body 2D. Of course we are working with 2D, so I'm gonna add a 2D rigid body. And now if you play the game, you will see he will fall. However, there will be no collision, so he's just gonna fall down, which we don't want, of course. So in order to add collisions, we have to add box collider in it. So box collider, and make sure you add 2D box collider, and there we go. Now we have a box collider kind of a thing, and yeah, you can see this is the box collider and it's already set to the cube. And now also we have to add the box collider to the ground, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the box collider to the ground, and as you can see it's already added. And now if you play the game, you will see that our player can fall on the ground. Alright, so one thing is already done. Okay, now only thing we need to do is we need to move him left and right and then add a jump. Okay, so the next thing what you need to do is you need to download a script, and it's called the Character Controller 2D script. Alright, and as you can see, this is the script, and it's a whole lot of things in here, and this will actually help you a lot when you're making a 2D platformer game. As you can see, you can move around in the script and you can flip and do such things, and yeah, so you have to download this one. Okay, so the link to that is in the description box below. I will have a link to that from GitHub. You can download it, and let me just quickly show you guys how to download it. If I go in here, and there we go. So it is made by Brackies, and he is a really cool game developer, and he added this Character Controller 2D script, and you can download it from there. You just go ahead, and when you click the link in the description box below, you can say clone or download and download zip, and you will download a zip file, and then you can download unzip it and drag it inside of Unity. So you can the current character controller features are smooth movement, jumping, crouch, and event systems up to animations, and 2D physics. Alright, so that is really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna just close that. So when you import it, that is that. Alright, then what you have to do is you have to click your player and drag it inside of our player. There we go. And now as you can see, this is the character controller script, and let's see what is inside of it. So there's jump force. It's already set to 400, and I don't think so we will have to change it. And there's this crouch speed, so when our character is in crouch, what will be the speed of his movement, and then his movement smoothing, and then air control. So if you want to control your character while he is in air, of course we want to do that, so let's just click that. What is ground? This means what is the layer on which our player can walk. So let's just set it to everything except the everything, I guess. Yeah, okay, everything, and we will check that later what we have to change it or not. And then there are three categories in which we have to fill. So there are three empty lots, 3 empty slots, and we have to fill in that. One is ground check, one is ceiling check, and one is crouch disable collider. All right, so ground check is that whether we are on the ground or not, whether we are standing on the ground or not, or we are in jump. So we have to fill in these by just making an empty game object inside of our player. So go in player, say right click and create an empty object, and press W on the keyboard so that you can see where it is. I'm gonna go ahead and drag it up on the head of our player like that. This will be our ground ceiling check. All right, ceiling check. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate that by Control D, and I'm gonna call this one ground check. All right, ground check. There we go. And I'm gonna bring the ground check a bit down on the feet of our character. There we go. Alright, so this will check whether our player is on the ground, and this will check whether our player is colliding with the ceiling. And of course we will have to drag it inside of the empty slot. So ceiling check comes in here, and the ground check comes in here. Cool. And now what we have to do is as you can see, nothing will actually happen even if we add all of these scripts. So we cannot move it with WASD, and we cannot do anything. So in order to move our character, what we have to do is we have to add a new script. So I don't think so we should use Playmaker in it, because script is much better in 2D games. Alright, in 3D games I used Playmaker a lot, and we will use Playmaker in this one, but I think we should use scripts in the character movement at least. So in order to add the script, go to add component, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the name of the script in here. So let's just call the script movement. There we go, and I'm gonna say hit enter, and what the fuck. Okay, remove that movement and add a new script of that name. So a new script, and it's called movement, and say create and add. All right, and it will take some time, and there we go, our movement script is on top of our player. All right, and as you can see in the project window, it's right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say double click and open it up in Visual Studio, and there we have our new script. So this is the first time on my channel when I am making a tutorial on how to make something using a script. So I think it will be difficult for me to explain it, but I will try my best. All right, it's not that I don't know how to use the scripts and how to write the code, but it's difficult for me to explain everything. All right, so just bear with me. All right. Okay, so as you can see, our script is called movement, and it's over here. These guys are called preprocessors that tell us that we are using Unity and we don't have to change anything from here. And this is the public class, and it's called movement. All right, and by default there are two actions. One is called start and one is called update. And as you can see, they already have told you this, use this for initialization, which means this start function will only execute once when the game starts, and this guy will execute every frame per second. All right, so which means everything we write in this will be executed every second, and every frame per second. And yeah, this one will only execute once in a game. All right. Okay, so first thing what we have to do is we have to declare a variable. So I want to connect my movement script with the character controller script, which is character controller 2D script. So I have to connect this one with that, so that we can use the functions in written in the character controller 2D. So how we do that is by going and making a public variable. All right, so I'm gonna say public, and name of the script, that is character controller 2D. So there we go, it's already there. So enter that, character controller 2D, and I'm gonna call it controller. You can call it anything. This is the variable class, and this is the variable name. All right, so yeah, and when we write public, it means we can change it in the Unity editor. All right, so yeah, so now if we hit Control S to save the whole thing, and when we come back to Unity, it's gonna compile the scripts, and it will take some time, so be patient. And as you can see, it's compiling, and there we go. Now we can see an empty slot over here, and it's called controller. So now what we have to do is we have to drag in our controller inside of it, and now our character controller 2D script and the movement script are both connected. All right. Okay, why I do that, I don't know. Okay, all right, so first thing what we have to do is we have to go ahead and have some kind of a method in order to detect whether we are moving or pressing some kind of a button or our keyboard. All right, so in order to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and say input dot get access. All right, and I'm gonna say get access raw this time. Input means input, of course. Input, let me just quickly show you guys what it is. So go to edit project settings, and there we go, there's an input, and in here we have different controls. All right, different inputs. You may not have the same one as mine because I have changed a lot of in it, but yeah, but what I want to do is I want to access this horizontal, which is A and D. All right, in your case it will be on the top over here, but in my case I have done it in the bottom. But you don't have to do anything over here, but I'm just gonna tell you guys what it is. So horizontal means A and D. All right, or your arrow keys left and right. Horizontal means left and right. All right, so we're gonna access this horizontal. So we're gonna copy this name, or make sure the spellings are the same, and gonna come back to Unity Visual Studio. So to get access raw, we want to get the access of horizontal. All right, so there we go. And I'm gonna say semicolon, and there we go. Now we don't have any error, and that is that. But what we are going to do is we are going to declare a variable and it will be called it will be private variable, so private, so we don't have to change it in Unity editor. And then I'm gonna call it float, so float variable, and it will be the horizontal move, and let's just declare it to be 0f for now. All right, so this will store how in which direction we are pressing this button. All right, in which direction we are pressing, even we are pressing A or D. All right, so that will store that will be stored in this horizontal move. I know it's difficult and it's confusing, but yeah, bear with me. All right, so I'm gonna let this whole thing be equal to this. So in order to do that, copy that name, paste it over here, and let it be equal to this, that. So now when we okay, let me just quickly show you guys what I mean. So in order to do that, in order to show you guys, I'm gonna say debug.log. You don't have to do that, I'm just gonna do it for you guys. Debug.log, and I'm gonna say horizontal move. So the value of the horizontal move will be debugged or printed on the console. So I'm gonna just save it, and I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. Come back to Unity, play the game, and I'm gonna go to my console. So as you can see, it says 0 over here. Why does it say 0? Because it's already set to 0. all right, the horizontal move is set to 0, so it's now by default is 0. So when I press A, it is set to I'm pressing D sorry, I'm pressing D, and it is set to 1 now. all right, and when I press A, it is set to -1. all right, D, and as you can see, 0, 1, and -1. Well, why is it happening? Well, it means that there are 3 things in the horizontal axis. One is 0, and then is 1, and there is -1. If we don't press any button, then it will be 0. all right, and if we press D, which is the right one, then it will become 1, and when we press A, it will become -1. all right, so yeah, that is how we're gonna use that. So that is what it actually is stored inside of our horizontal move. Now what we have to do is we have to move our character. all right, in order to do that, what I think we should do is we should use fixed update, which is like update, but it will be executed not every frame, but it will be executed at certain frames. all right, so it's called fixed update. So say void fixed update. So there it is, and it's already completed. Okay, fixed update, and in here what we want to do is we want to move our character, and how we'll do that is we will access our controller. So controller no, not collider, controller, and when we get inside our controller, we want to say dot, and when we do that, we have all these options. all right, so what we want is we want to move, right? So we're gonna say move, and there we go, there's a function called move in there. So I'm gonna tell you guys what it is actually, but yeah, when we do that, we see that void character controller 2D dot move, and there are 3 different things in here. One is float, and then one is crouch, and then one is jump. all right, so we have to fill in all of these. So float move, we already have done that, so we want to declare it equal to the horizontal move. So I'm gonna say horizontal move. There we go, and then I'm gonna say comma. all right, so 1 is done, float move is already done, then is a crouch, and then is jump. So for now, I'm gonna set it to false. There we go, false and false. And just a second, I'm gonna explain what's happening. Okay, let me just go back to Unity, Control S, Unity, and the character controller script. I'm gonna just open it up so that you can see what is happening. Open up the controller script. Just a second. If you don't understand what's happening, I'm gonna just tell you guys. all right, just a second. Okay, here is the character controller 2D script, and I'm gonna find the move. Where is it? There we go, this is the move. This is what we are accessing from this script. all right, so character controller dot move, and this is the move. all right, this is the move, and we are setting this float move equal to this horizontal move. all right, So when it is -1, this move will also be equal to -1. All right, and then when this move is equal to -1, it is gonna move our thing from here, and you know, all of this script, we don't have to write it or anything, and yeah, it will let our character move. And I think when we play the game now, it should kind of work, kind of, at least. There we go. As you can see, our character, it can now move around. However, it is really slow, but yeah, our character can now move, and that is really cool, right? So how to change the speed? Well, we can do is we can come in here, and I'm not gonna use this again, so I'm gonna close that. What we can do is we can add a new float in here. All right, and this time I'm gonna call it public because we have to change it from the editor, and then I'm gonna call it speed. Float, and then speed. Make sure the float is small f, and then I'm gonna call it speed. There we go. Okay, so, and I'm gonna set the speed equal to 40 for now, 40f. Okay, so what this speed will actually do is I'm gonna multiply this speed with this guy, so that the value of this one will be speed. And just a second. Now I'm gonna explain what's happening. It's really difficult for me to explain. I'm really sorry if you don't understand what's happening or if you get confused, but I have a public float variable called speed, and it is set to 40 now. All right, and whenever we press the button, like if we press D, the value of horizontal move will be 1. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and multiply this one value with 40. This 40. All right, so that one will be equal to 40. So now our character controller will move, instead of with speed 1, it will move with speed 40. So if I increase it with like 50, then our character controller will move with the speed of 50. All right, and I'm gonna just show you what is happening. So play the game inside of Unity, and now you will see it will move much faster. Sorry, there we go. As you can see, there is a 40 thing over here, and now as you can see, our controller is moving really fast, and we don't want it to be that fast, so let me just decrease this to 20. And yeah, there we go. Now our character is moving, so that is really cool, right? Yeah, so yeah, I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of it. Okay, 20, and we can also decrease this to 10 if you want. And now as you can see, it moves a little slower, and I think that is good. Move it to 15, and yeah. All right, so that is it. So now our character controller is now moving. So there we go. That is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, then subscribe to my channel, which is how to do. And in the next video, we will be making a jetpack system so that it looks something like this. Where is it? Sorry, we will making jetpack system kind of like this. So when we do that, he will jump, he will use the jetpack like that. All right, so hope you guys enjoy. Oh, okay, we have the second one. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, then subscribe to my channel, which is how to do. And bam, if you want to support me, you can support me by donating me some minutes through PayPal. The link will be in the description box below, and make sure you see the next video. It will be on the jetpacks, and then I will also add this gun, these guns, and then these spikes and all these stuff, and then we will make it look better, like this glow system, and yeah, all that. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, then subscribe to my channel, which is how to do, and I'll see you in my next video. And the next video will be pretty soon out. I will make it right now, just so the both of the videos will be uploaded at the same time. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, be cool.